Okay, kicking off today's show with the nation's song. Slater, you had the inspiration.
I did. Yesterday I went to Walgreens, and no offense to like Walgreens, like CVS, but there's usually a lot of convenience store trash that gets tossed on the ground in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, people who just get fresh prescriptions, whatever it is.
Receipts.
They're road tripping.
I walk around in my flip-flops and there's broken glass. The last thing I want is a shard of glass in my foot. And it was the most immaculate parking lot. I went in, I talked to the manager, and I said, hey, your guys' parking lot, so spotless. And he said, that's because every single morning I do that. Or I have my crew do that so they get some sun and everything else, and they do it. And I think that that's something that, look around at the ground. There's so much trash everywhere, and we could all be a little bit more like this manager to make sure that nobody gets glass in their foot.
You know what? On my ride into work every day, I don't stop by, but I drive by at McDonald's, and there's always one of the McDonald's employees that's out there sweeping. I've seen pressure washing before.
Making sure the property looks
even though they're open, before it really, starts to get busy in the mornings.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, if that is your job, we get it. That probably when you're in the middle of it, you probably don't think it's the most amazing thing. But for those of us who really love going to your facilities,
Absolutely.
It's because of you. So this morning, the national anthem out to you.
K92-3.
Doing the right thing. And there's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game. Thank you, Chloe. And Obi, I know that's not in your top 10 favorite songs of all time. So I don't expect you to know all the lyrics to it, but I do want to bring that up. This thing is happening. It's great. So if you're not a baseball fan, you probably don't know. This is opening week of the new season, okay?
Yeah.
So it's 162 games, and I love this. This is a doing the right thing moment. So Major League Baseball kicking off. There is a pitcher who plays for the Pittsburgh Pirates named Paul Skeens that has decided, he's a pitcher, okay? He's decided to take his strikeouts, and he strikes out a lot of guys, and put them to good use. He's donating $100 to the Gary Sinise Foundation for every strikeout that he does this season.
Wow.
Last season, he had 209, so that would put it about $20,000 plus going to help out all these veterans and these families of the fallen. That Gary Sinise, we've talked about him before, bringing people to Disney World and making their dreams come true with a family member that's not there, and honoring of that person. And now there's more money to help out those families.
I love this story because anytime a pitcher gets a strikeout, it's the best, right? Like especially if you're a fan of that team, you're like, yeah. But now there's so much more behind this than just striking out that player.
Yeah, well, and I would love to be one of the participants who's taking count, like every single time he's at bat, taking count, and because that is a really cool money count, and that's nothing to a player to pay that out.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, and think about it, okay? You do your best job every single day. And then just doing your best could actually help out somebody else. So we could all do that. So if it's your job to file papers, you could donate $1 for every single paper that you have to file at your job.
That's a lot of papers.
Huh? Yeah.
Imagine if you're somebody batting against them and you're like, not today.
That's so bad.
I'd be like, strike me out. Donate more money. Aww.
So I want to give it to, and really, if you at your job, you want to do something like this, you can take a tally, inspire yourself to work harder. Maybe you'll get a promotion and help out those families. In this case, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Paul Skeens, coming up with this, donating money to the Gary Sinise Foundation. That today, striking them out, is doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing. Brought to you by
Renewal by Andersen Windows and Doors. For more, RBAFLA.com.
Doing the right thing.
on K92.3.
I know right now, as I stare into Chloe's eyes, now I'm looking into Slater's eyes, that these guys would not be loyal enough to stay on this show if this was to happen tonight.
I mean, I think I'd give both of you money. Billions.
But you wouldn't stay.
Billions of dollars right now. If you run to go grab your lottery ticket, you could be the one walking home with all of that money.
Yeah, and I would stay on the show. I would work a lot less than I do now.
Oh, you wouldn't see me. I'd buy an island. Goodbye.
Wow.
Slater would be working remote from his mansion. There'd be some person here doing all of Slater's work. I mean, it would be great.
Yeah, but
we'd have to work with your assistant.
As we get ready for the Powerball launching off, what's it? Is that tonight?
Tonight?
Yeah.
Tonight. $1 billion+ that you can win. We need to ask a financial expert. Nancy Hecht from Certified Financial Group has the questions that we need to know to make sure that that money stays your money. Next.
That is Morgan Wallen, Eric Church, K92.3 Music, where, by the way, a little later on this hour, we'll have a story about Eric Church. Not only is he making a bar, which you'll be able to visit here shortly, but something else up his sleeve that makes him a little bit of a gypsy. That's called the tease, y'all. Okay, so here we have $1 billion on our lap if you've got luck or favor in your side.
Yeah, I mean, you just choose the same numbers. Is that what you do? The Powerball jackpot over 1.09 that's the estimated $1 billion happening tonight.
I just kiss my lotto tickets. Anytime I get one, I'm like, mwah, you're the winner. Mwah, you may be the winner. And I just put them up there right on my dashboard in my car, and off I go. So
would you do the same numbers if you regularly did it, or would you do the quick pick where they just spits it out?
Right, just spits out the numbers. I feel like you got a better chance.
Because those are from God? Is that why you're like,
my
you know
Lord.
what? God sent these out. Who wants me to get this money?
That is funny.
and I don't ever play, but tonight's going to be the drawing, and just an honest question before we get to our financial advisor here, who is an expert in answering all of these questions, Nancy Hecht. But you guys, would you stay on the show? You're $1 billion richer. Would you stay on this show right here?
To be 100% honest, no. I mean, I'd be a billionaire. I think I'd probably give everybody a little bit of money here, all my friends at K92.3, and then I'd go buy an island and take care of the family.
Yeah, and ego aside, it would be Slater 92.3. I would just
I know
need,
it would be.
at least for a week. It would need to change the name just for a week so I can say that I did it.
I think my 25 years in radio would come to an end, guys. I think I would sleep. I would sleep for a week solid just for all the sleep that I've missed being a morning guy.
Yeah.
Just know tomorrow if one of us doesn't show up, that's because we're billionaires. But we are so excited to have Nancy Hecht from Certified Financial. She is the expert. Nancy, what would you do? Would you invest this money?
Well, first of all, when it comes to claiming it, and if you win here, you don't have to claim it under your own name. So I would set up a trust and not tell anybody what the trust name was, and then claim it in that, so people don't come out of the woodwork saying you're my long-lost cousin or sister-in-law or something like that.
I had already set up a trust under Chloe, so that way
Thanks,
they'll
Slater.
come after Chloe and they won't come after my money when this comes.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good idea for people? There's a lot of people that will buy scratch tickets or lottery tickets every single week, and they say it's an investment. Would you, as from Certified Financial Group, would you say that is a good investment or a bad investment?
I don't think it's not an investment.
Yeah. I don't know. My uncle's going to be pretty distraught over this news.
Yeah, if you keep your losing tickets and you do win, you can offset some of the taxable gain with the losing tickets.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question about just you personally. Whenever you see these lotto numbers rise up, what do you think when you're, as a financial expert, when you see these big numbers and an individual winning that much at once?
Well, I always hope that more than one person wins. But I always look at what is the lump sum versus the annual lifetime payment. I'm more of a bird in the hand kind of person, so I generally would go for the lump sum.
Okay, so you take the cash option of $527.3 million instead of $1.9 billion.
Yeah, I might. It depends. I mean, this one, the monthly payout for life was pretty high, so I really would want to crunch the numbers.
I always have a hard time trusting, sometimes a lot of businesses, you see teachers will all pull their money together and they'll get a bunch of tickets.
20 teachers.
As a financial expert, would you advise them to do that or to not do that?
Well, if a group is going to do that, there's got to be something legal in place. So there's a fair equity of the proceeds, and they've decided in advance, are they going to take a lump sum? Are they going to take payout?
Right. Yeah, I would say I would be pretty upset if the person who bought the tickets all of a sudden claims them because I bought them.
Right.
Yeah, well, and as we found out, they probably also are listening, so they're going to set up a trust. A different name. Next thing you know, they're somewhere off in another country.
Miss Nancy, if you were to win this and you took $1 million and invested it right now in something, what would that product be based on the stock market as you're watching everything?
I would invest it in a variety of mutual funds. You would never put a big lump sum of money all in one thing.
So I wouldn't buy a bunch of Barnes & Noble stock.
Are they still around?
You don't know.
We love Barnes and
They
Noble.
will be after Obi invests.
I'll be just in time for the comeback. Hey, Nancy, what would you say about somebody who's never had money and they win the lotto?
Well, we all have that. If I won a big lump sum of money, I would do XYZ. So you have to scratch that itch and get all the fun stuff and frivolous stuff out of the way.
Like get my car
And then-
gold plated?
Well, if that's what you want to do, then go right ahead and do that.
Love that. Nancy, we thank you so much for your time. Nancy Hecht from Certified Financial Group out there in Altamont Springs. We can't say thank you enough for helping us make sure that as we win all this money, we don't blow it the first day.
Okay, my pleasure. Have a great day and pick your numbers carefully.
There we
Yeah.
go. Thanks,
Thank
Miss
you, Nancy.
Nancy.
Bye-bye.
So cool.
Aw.
that's great. Yeah.
The All Access is coming up next. There's a new whiskey out. It's called Whiskey Gypsy, and the man behind the bottle is the most mysterious, I'd say, guy in country. We'll tell you who it is in 6 minutes.
K92.3. From backstage to the front page, it's All Access.
We'll talk about the new whiskey that's out and what mysterious guy in country is behind it. But first, we're so excited for tomorrow. Ashley McBride is going to be playing the House of Blues. Doors open at 7 o'clock if you are going to the show. Obi, Slater, myself, we will be out there. And we're just so excited to just hang out with you, spend the evening with y'all, and it's going to be a really fun night.
Yeah, I can't wait. And you know what? Get there at a decent time because sometimes that line does go around the building. And also a great place to get a turkey leg right there in front.
There
That's
you
true.
go. Oh, Obi loves turkey legs. So if there's a
that's
guy that knows where they are, it's Obi.
Yep, and I have to drive home while eating that thing, which is, it's horrible, but it's the most delicious thing ever.
There you go. And Luke Combs kicks off a store next weekend, and he April Fooled all of us by showing us the set list. 25 songs on this set list. They were all Fast Car.
It's the biggest song. That's so cool for him.
So he's
Tracy.
promising us that when he's here in Jacksonville on May 3rd and 4th, that Fast Car will be on the set list.
Sometimes people do that. So if you're new, they go, hey, if you have a number one song and you don't have like Luke Combs, like what has he got now? Like 15 number ones or
At
something like
least.
that. Just do it twice. Start the show with it and end the show with it. People who would have known.
And we'd love it. We'd absolutely love it. And then lastly, Eric Church has a new series of his whiskey out. It's called Whiskey Gypsy. It's the Explorer series, so it combines like 6-year aged whiskey and this finishing wood. Here's Eric, though, sharing more about this adventure.
I'm a very creative, restless spirit, and we've, in a way, made this product that way. I'm very proud of where we've got to right now, and I'm excited about where we're heading.
So you said that it was expensive, right? What's expensive?
It runs around $180 to $200 a bottle.
It's a gift.
Machi,
It's
whoa.
a gift. It's not. You're not supposed to be drinking it every single night, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, and here's the deal: is that you buy something like that, yeah, and that's something that you have a couple of sips with on, like, you know, special occasions or when your boys come over and it's something special. Yeah, but you don't just kill a bottle and take shots of that type of whiskey. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some of you got it like that.
And you know what I love about this too? Like, it's not, you could purchase it obviously on his website, but it's available at your liquor store. So I know Total Wine and Spirits, they have it available right now. So anywhere that you get your wine, your alcohol, you'll find it.
If it was really smart with it, he would do some sort of a gift pack, obviously with aviators that were actually tucked right inside.
Oh, I
little
like
sleeve.
how you're thinking.
And I know Kenny Chesney, he's got his rum. What is that, Blue Chair rum?
Yep.
Yeah. So if I'm butchering the name, I'm sorry. But often they will do signings at shows. So I would hope that Eric Church and his team are like, you know what? We're going to actually really capitalize on this. We'll sign some bottles or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that way at a future show, maybe you can get it.
I love it.
You better believe his new bar is going to open in Nashville, and I would make that the exclusive whiskey of the bar.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That'll be the top shelf whiskey there. So you can see all these stories up online at K923Orlando.com. We have $1,000 minute, 10 trivia questions, 60 seconds on the clock. That's happening next.
Obi, Chloe, and Slater's $1,000 minute.
K92.3.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, brother? It's Obi. You've got Slater there and Chloe there.
Hello.
I listen to you guys every morning on my drive into work. Love the second date update. Big fan of you guys.
Yeah, are you going to be able to handle this $1,000 minute, all the pressure?
I hope so.
All right, well, here we go. Okay, so guys, we're talking to Michael here. Great guy, married and just became a dad 14 months ago.
Yeah, he's 14 months.
Aw.
How are the stress levels, Mike?
Pretty good. He's a good sleeper. He's a good baby for the most part.
Oh, man, that's awesome. All right, well, you got $1,000 hanging in the balance if you've got what it takes with this $1,000 minute.
All right,
All right.
Michael. So 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock. You could say pass to a question if you want to, and we can come back to it at the end. But whatever you say first, we'll have to lock in.
Okay.
All right. Obi, you ready?
Okay, clock is ticking.
Okay, here we go, Michael, with question number 1. What is the square root of 144?
Pass on that.
Which country artist sings the song Oh Red?
Blake Shelton.
Mickey Mantle is an athlete known for playing which sport?
Baseball.
What is the rarest blood type among humans?
Pass.
This company is known for their tagline, Eat Fresh.
Subway.
Who are Timmy Turner's fairy godparents?
Pass.
Which one of these is a mammal? A seahorse, a sea lion, or a sea urchin?
Can you repeat that?
Which one of these is a mammal? A seahorse, a sea lion, or a sea urchin?
Sea lion.
Name 3 of the 7 continents.
Africa. North America.
And
Antarctica.
that's your time.
Dang,
You
I'm
were right
still going to
there.
count it. You got 5 right. You passed on a couple. We didn't get to the last couple. Let me go through this, okay, Michael? So square root of 144 is 12. You passed on that one.
12.
AB negative is the rarest type of blood. I don't even know who the heck Timmy Turner is. Who's Timmy Turner?
Godparents, fairy godparents on Nickelodeon?
Nobody
No?
nobody
Yeah, I
knows
have no idea.
Cosmo and Wanda. You know what? Michael, you did great regardless. We got 4 tickets to Island H2O for you as a consolation.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, that'll be
That's
so
awesome.
fun.
Hey, maybe,
Yeah, thank you.
maybe we get the wife on. Maybe she's the brains of the operation. I'm
Oh,
just
he
kidding.
did great.
I'm just kidding, brother. Enjoy being a dad, and thank you so much for playing the $1,000 minute with us, Mike.
Woohoo!
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
The $1,000 minute.
Let's see how you do. Join up on the K82-3 app to play.
K92-3. Time to hit the panic button with Obi, Chloe, and Slater.
Shay, you're hitting the panic button over something pretty. I would say this is sensitive.
Yes. So I had a daughter when I was 15, and my parents convinced me to let them adopt her and raise her as my sister. My daughter, Tiffany, she's now 10, and I want to tell her the truth. I want to tell her that I am her mom and not her sister.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. So you had this baby at a young age, and your parents decided to take the role of parents.
Yes.
Because you were so young. So if I calculated that right,
Interesting.
if your daughter's 10, so you're 25 now, Shay?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
25. I'm a teacher. I am happily engaged, and I'm also pregnant.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what's the panic? You just you don't know how to like package
The panic is that I want both of my children to be raised together. I don't want my daughter Tiffany to one day say, "Hey, you raised my sister, but you didn't raise me."
I mean, the labels of mom and sister and then your baby that's in your belly growing right now is actually your daughter's sister, right? Those are
Yeah.
big labels to change. What do your folks think?
My folks think that I am an irresponsible 15-year-old, and they are enablers. So their thoughts on the matter really don't matter.
Yeah,
because
so
they're getting too old.
they're still pretty much treating you like a kid that was irresponsible
Correct.
10 years ago instead of
I
who
don't
you are now.
live with them. I went to college. I went to grad school. I did the right thing.
Good for
And
you.
I'm
Wow.
glad that they gave me that opportunity. But now I'm ready to take my daughter back.
And your daughter is currently living with grandparents, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But she
Okay.
loves my fiance. She loves her big sis. And I know that she could take the adjustment.
Her big sis is actually her mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right,
so
she's
here's what we'll do.
fine.
This is definitely a first for us. Why don't we open up the lines and see if we can get some wisdom as to how you approach this?
Okay.
Join the conversation.
844-254-9232.
844-254-9232.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
Austin, we're starting to grab calls now, but you're the first to respond to this. Go ahead.
There's no way that she can tell this little girl what's going on.
So honesty is not the best policy in this case.
Not after 10 years of lying.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Okay, hold on. If you can wait 6 minutes, want to hear the rest of you say next, okay?
K92.3. The Panic Button.
Join the conversation.
With Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
Got Shay hitting the panic button today. She had a daughter at the age of 15. Her parents stepped in and raised the baby. Now, 10 years later, she's successful, a teacher, engaged. At the age of 25, wants to come clean with her daughter, telling her that she's the real mom. Austin, what was your take?
That's the worst thing I've ever heard. First of all, you can't take this kid away from what she believes is her parents. And at 10, you're sending it. Basically, you are just sending a 10-year-old to therapy.
But don't you think she deserves the truth? I mean, I understand she's 10 right now, but as she continues to get older, like that'll be even harder on her if she doesn't find out.
Well, happy birthday. You're 18. This is what really happened.
Wow.
Right. So maybe you wait. Maybe you wait till she's 18. The only difficult thing is the next 7-8 years, she is going to be thinking that this is her niece, this new baby or nephew. I don't think she gave the gender. Like, that's actually not. That's your brother or sister. It's not niece or nephew. Mm-hmm. So any of those memories, I always think you'll have stronger bonds with a brother or sister than you will a aunt or uncle. The whole perspective is going to shift, and you're going to miss out on those years.
Right, but I think the perspective shift has to happen with the adults and not have a child figure it out.
But I think no matter what, I'm 27 and I still need my mom and dad. I call them all the time for advice. And so it's that, so what? She finds out at 18. I understand she's old enough. She's out on her own. But do you lean in as mom or do you lean into her as your sister still?
Wow.
You know?
Because you talk to a mom differently than you talk to a sister.
Totally.
Yeah, siblings are way different than parents. Their whole upbringing is like it's going to be turned on her head.
Wow. All right, brother. Well, we appreciate your input.
No, thank you.
Join the conversation.
844-254-9232.
844-254-9232.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
Parker McCullum on K92.3, Orlando's #1 for new country, where it's Obie, Chloe, and Slater. Okay, so a little later on, we'll have some fantastic things for you to win, like our O-Town Showdown. On the road, you'll be able to see that podcast, and then the $1,000 minute, that's where you'll be able to win $1,000, and then Island H2O passes. Now, we already played it today. Make sure you're signed up for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, so we were trying to help our girl out this morning, Shay. She had her daughter at a very young age, and she, as well as her daughter, her parents raised her. So she is considered sister. That's what her daughter knows her as. It's what she's known her as her whole life. She's 10 now. She's doing really well, and she's ready to tell her, like, hey, I am not your sister. I am actually your mom.
No, I didn't think these things happened a lot. And a couple of years ago, I was told by my aunt that she went through, not the same experience, but similar, where she thought that her uncle was her uncle and then found out when he was pretty much on his deathbed the last couple of years, it was actually her dad. So she then, thankfully, had 2 years to have that relationship and learn so much more about it. Man. I don't think so. She was what? She was in her early 60s. That is the correct time to actually do it. Probably not when the child is 10. If you're going to actually hide those things, it looks like it's a little young. Just saying. I
mean, it's got to be so hard for her too. 10 years old, she's getting into the teen years where we all know, like, middle school's hard, high school can be challenging, and for her to now have this on her and try to process and understand it, she's just still so young.
Okay, so we need some advice, especially from those of you who have some world experience here. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I just had a comment on the panic button.
Yes, ma'am. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Shelby. I'm from Deltona.
Oh, okay, Shelby.
And I just wanted to say, the little girl's 10 already. There's not really much that she is going to be able to tell her. It's going to change her life dramatically. My thing would be, she's talking about she doesn't want to raise her kids separately. She kind of already did.
I think
they're both 10 years old.
She wants to turn back the clock, which is not
right.
a possibility. But she also, I think now that she's established, she actually does want those teenage years. So she wants to be seen as the mom, not the sister anymore.
Right, and I totally get that.
I understand, but it's difficult, especially as she gets older and stuff too. She's always known her as sister, you know. So how do you switch that relationship?
Yeah, but y'all, okay,
Exactly.
hold on. So we're not even at the point where there's prom, when she starts to date, and you think she's gonna want to still remain as the quote unquote big sister? She's gonna want to be the mom at that point. Wow,
I can understand that.
Yeah, so touchy, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I was a teen mom myself, so my daughter's 11 now. So I was 17 when I had her, and I mean, I completely understand the struggle. But I mean, if I did it that way, I don't know if I could tell her.
Right. We'll pass that along, you know, a vote for just being the best sister you could possibly be, you know?
Right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening.
Oh, you're the best.
Thank you for
listening. Have a great day.
Ooh, out of Paisley, Florida. Susie, everybody.
Hello, Miss Susie.
Go ahead, Madam. We can't wait for some wisdom here.
All I heard from her was, I want. Her daughter is 10 years old. She's going to be getting into puberty pretty soon. Her emotions are going to be flying. Wrong timing to do this to her. It's going to rock her world.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. Say you're the real mom, you're playing sister, right? Just like our girl here. Isn't that such a heavy secret to keep for all those years? That's got to do something to the mental capacity too.
Absolutely. I know that it's hard for adult children to find out the truth. So for a little girl to have to try
to process it all and understand it. Miss Susie, when do you think the right age is for her to sit down and have that conversation?
Good question. I
would say 35.
You did a tangled web, and now you're trying to untangle it.
Right.
What if she just moves in to her house as her sister, right? So that way she doesn't miss any of those moments, but then she keeps that until the time is right when she's an adult.
I know, but like Obi said, she starts dating, you know?
Well, then she's there
all
as
those
the
things.
sister. So she's there to see everything and be the guardian, but is no longer thinking, oh, maybe I should tell her I'm the mom. Just act like the mom, but be the sister title.
Yeah.
I think that would be safer, and wait until she's mature enough to handle the information.
Great advice.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. Chime in anytime. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I love it when we open up the lines because there's sometimes that y'all will say things that I'm like, oh, that is brilliant. So thank you for calling.
Yeah, and you know what? Thank you for saying what I said was brilliant, Obi.
Oh, here we go.
I said when they call in.
Not me. Got it.
Oh, man. All right, so we do have the All Access, and we still want to continue taking your calls, too. 844-254-9232.
K92-3.
Two people, one date, zero texts returned.
Second date update.
Brought to you by attorney Dan Newlin. In a wreck, need a check, Google Dan Newlin.
John over in Conway. If you don't mind, John, give us a little bit more of your date story. You said the first date was at a coffee shop?
Yeah, so it was actually at Starbucks. I'd been talking to this girl for about a week and just normal chatting, and I was picking up all these clues that it was her birthday, so I wanted to make it special. And so we were going to go to Starbucks. I actually bought a cake and some balloons.
You brought that to Starbucks?
Yeah, I just thought it would be sweet, like something a little extra. And yeah, I just haven't had to text her anything since then, and she won't respond. So it's
Man, that's such a charming gesture too, and I'm sure that to pick up on the fact that it's somebody's birthday ahead of time, like that's really thoughtful.
Super sweet.
Yeah, I thought so. But
was she just embarrassed? Some people don't like the spotlight. I mean, not me, but
oh yeah,
maybe she was more of an introvert than you thought. That kind of threw her off.
I guess it could be, but it didn't seem like it was that big of a deal.
What was her reaction when she walked in and saw the cake and the balloons?
I think she was a little, I won't say embarrassed, but just kind of shy and sweet. And I think she couldn't believe someone actually did this for her.
So. Well, and I mean, what a way to surprise somebody by making all the attention be about them. I think that was smooth, man. So let's take her number. You gave us Isla's number, and we're going to call her right now and see if we can get the both of you talking eventually in our conversation, okay?
Cool, perfect.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, was looking for Isla, please.
Who is that?
Isla, this is Obi. That's Chloe, and that's Slater.
Good morning.
So the three of us, we do a morning radio show for the big popular station here in town. K92.3.
Country station.
Why are you calling?
So we're calling because you went out on a date with a guy named John, and our morning show hands out gift cards to people in hopes that they'd go out on another date.
Can you get a gift card if you're not going to go on another date?
No, because we want you to go back
Absolutely
on the
not.
date with him.
Are you interested?
Okay, well, that's not going to happen. No. No, thank you.
So hold on. You know we're talking about John, right?
Yes.
And I apologize for the other two in here. We were just incredibly rude. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, it's not my birthday, but thank you.
It's not.
Well, it was your
Well, it
birthday,
was.
right?
That's why
like
it's
during your
belated.
date. Like he said that he went all out and he got you a cake.
We
and
need to at least
balloons.
tell her what's going on. So we talked to John Isla, and he shared that he took you to Starbucks, celebrated your birthday. I know he said he did balloons and a cake. And so that's why we're calling you back, because it sounded like you both had a great time. And I thought it was so sweet, the gesture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. The gesture was super sweet, and I do love Starbucks, and I do love balloons, but no, it was not my birthday. And he was completely not listening to me. He didn't even know when my birthday was. It's not for another month.
Wait,
And
your birthday, you didn't tell him this? So your birthday wasn't even that day or within those days?
No, it wasn't.
So how did he get this all mixed up? Like, I mean, I thought that was a fantastic gesture. He got everybody to sing for you.
I mean, yeah, it was really kind. I mean, I'm not going to embarrass him and tell him that it wasn't my birthday, but it wasn't my birthday. I don't know, like, what signs he was reading into when we were chatting, but
So you just went along with it to be kind.
how rude would it have been if he did all of that and I said, it's not my birthday?
Well, he did all of it, and then you didn't call him back, so.
I didn't want to.
Wow. Okay, so can we do this? Can we let you in on the fact that John is on the line? We wanted to get the both of you talking, so that's why he's been sitting here. John,
Oh
are you
my
there?
Lord.
Yeah, I'm here.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, ew. How creepy is that he would call a radio show to try to talk to me? He could have sent me a voice memo. I would have listened to that.
John?
Sorry, Isla. I was just trying to be sweet again. I feel really
You're
embarrassed.
trying to be sweet again by putting our whole relationship up on the radio?
I don't even know if it got to the relationship point.
It was just the first date.
Yeah,
okay, regardless.
Yeah, I just didn't understand why you weren't calling me, and I liked you. So, and I feel really bad about the birthday thing. It's kind of funny if you think about it. I just didn't. I really thought I was doing something sweet.
Yeah, it is really sweet if it was my birthday. But you know what? You didn't even order me a drink.
What? Okay. Isla, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but are you hard to please?
Obi.
I'm just...
Obi.
Are you serious? Like, you guys called me.
I didn't know what you liked, and I thought you were
Yeah,
going
of course
to...
you didn't know what I liked. We talked for 1 week, and then you were like, let's get together.
I know, but
I don't
right,
like
but
any of this.
that's how a relationship, or that's how dating works. Is we talk and then you meet up and.
Isla,
try
I
things
think
out.
really just out of the kindness of John's heart, he just wanted to celebrate your birthday. He thought it was your birthday, tried to do a sweet gesture, didn't do dinner and a movie, just, Starbucks, casual.
Okay, it really doesn't feel like anybody's on my side here.
No. Well, everyone...
I can be on your side, girl. Think about this. You got a birthday coming up. Maybe that $75 gift card, then you can celebrate your actual birthday.
There you go, and try it again.
Where would we go, John? I might have mentioned my favorite restaurant in our chat over the past week. So where would we go? Do you remember?
We could go wherever you wanted to go. Honestly, I would let you pick because.
Okay, so we feel like this is tanking big time. So why don't we just quit the call? John, you got your answer. Isla, we're sorry that we bothered you today.
Did he get his answer? I don't
No,
know. Maybe
we don't
you
know
two
where she...
talk off the phone. Talk off this.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you an answer. It's going to be a fat no.
There you go.
You know what? Whatever.
Second date update.
Did you miss it? Catch the latest drama on the K82-3 app.
That is Chase Beckham on K92.3, Orlando's number one for new country. It is Obi, Chloe, and Slater. Good morning.
Good morning. So we shared the sweetest video. You can see it on our K92.3 Facebook page, Instagram page. It's of Russell Dickerson's son and Thomas Rhett's daughter. They're around 3 years old, holding hands.
Sweet,
and
innocent.
It stopped Thomas Rhett in his tracks because he stopped and he whipped his head around. He's like, what is happening right now? You know, he's like, oh, to the guys that date my daughters, because he's got 4 girls. And it was just super sweet. It was funny. Russell was laughing. And so that got the conversation in here because, Slater, your daughter Olivia's at 5.
Right.
And Obi, you're at that stage right now where the kids are hitting the teenage years.
Yeah, I've got a 13 and 14-year-old. The 14-year-old, now that's my son. He is starting to take an interest. So that is interesting watching in our house. But what's too young? Chloe, when was your first crush, your first date?
I started having crushes probably more in middle school, but I didn't have a boyfriend and go out on a first official date until freshman year of high school.
Yeah, I'll take it. You said high school. That's good. That's good. Yeah,
I feel like I was a little bit of a late bloomer. You know, I feel like middle school was more the age where you started really
It's
dating.
cute when it's like 3, 4, and 5, but the gap when you become a teenager is like not. I was a late bloomer, so I was well into my high school years. Everything else, I tried to ask out a girl when I was in 6th grade. Her dad, not having any of it, actually transferred her to a Catholic school.
Oh, my God.
Sent the ring back to me and said, she is too young. I never saw her again. Never saw her again. So I would say 12 is too young at that point.
Okay, I was chubby growing up, like incredibly chubby, and I had glasses. So like I didn't even notice girls until I was like 13. And then that's when I tried to drop weight and tried to become something that somebody would want to say yes to if I said, would you date me?
How do you feel about Zach dating your son?
So he's 14 and he's now in the thick of it, and it is very unique being in this season. I've heard from a lot of y'all who have called. I've heard from a lot of my mentors who have gone through it. But when you're actually going through it, you're like, okay, wow, this is. First of all, I still feel young. I feel too young to have a kid who's dating. How about that? That's the sentence.
So maybe that's why there's a lot of parents that's like, nope, too young to date, because they're too young to actually deal with that. Deal with the situation of being a parent of somebody who's dating.
All right, okay, we got calls coming in, 844-254-9232. Hey.
Hey, I got a first date story for you.
Oh, okay, let's hear it. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Lauren. I'm from Orlando.
Okay. What age?
And
no, what age was the date when you started dating? Not what age are you now? That would be totally disrespectful.
Cover.
I had my own car at the time, so I had to have been at least 16.
Ooh.
It was an older boy who was out of high school.
Out of high school. Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And he borrowed his dad's excursion, got it all detailed.
Wow.
And then when he got to my house, my mom asked to check his driver's license and wrote down all the information.
I love it. It's so good.
We know where you live.
And then she made me drive and take my car and leave his car there.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So it's been like, over 25 years, and she hasn't lived it down.
I would say chances are that if you take your own car and you're the one driving, he's probably not going to be able to pull the type of moves that he would if he was in his own car in his own territory. So that's what I like as a parent. I like that move.
Well, yeah, because you're going to where you're supposed to be going. Meanwhile, he might go to Makeout Mountain.
Yeah. You just want to park in a field? So funny. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Take care. Bye.
You too. K92.3, good morning.
Obi, this is Jason out of Mount Dora.
Hey,
Jason.
Well, first and foremost, I'm like that song. I'll be up all night cleaning my gun.
Oh, yeah. Come on in, boys. Sit on down.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I like that character.
But at the same time, here's what I did, which may be a suggestion for you and that crazy-ass Slater sitting next to you. What I did was when my daughter was starting her dating and stuff, I took my daughter out 3 times on a date. And I explained to her, if a boy does not treat you any better than the way I've treated you on a date and respect you, he doesn't date you.
Wow.
I mean,
I
that's how it should be. And you hope if you're a dad that is respecting his daughter, then she's going to be looking for a guy like that. Because I do think that that's true.
Exactly. And that's the way I was raised. That's the way I believe. Granted, I may be old school at 56 years old, but if that boy doesn't treat my daughter with the respect and understand that no means no, I have clean shotguns in my cabinet.
I love that, though, too, because I'll say, coming from a daughter, I'm a daughter, 27 years old. My parents have been married almost 30 years. And my standards are so high for men because I watched my dad in the way that he treated my mom.
That's good.
And so I love this because it's important to know for your daughter, too, to have those standards and to know how to be treated.
Right. But at the same time, I even took it a step further. If she did have a boy that did not treat her at the same standard that I treated her on those 3 dates, I not only went to the parents and I explained to their parents how much they're lacking on teaching their son.
Oh, wow.
And I did not have any hesitations of bawling those parents out.
Good for you. You're a good dad. We appreciate you calling in this morning.
You're welcome, guys. Y'all take care.
You too, man.
Yeah. All right, so coming up next here in 6 minutes, Chloe is an old soul. That's what Slater and I at least keep calling you.
I know, I agree. I am an old soul, but I'm so insecure at what someone told me the other day.
No, it's true. You're old. You're old.
Thanks. You're supposed to be my friend.
It's easy to change. I don't know why you won't change this about yourself.
All right, in 6 minutes, what is it that Chloe's doing? We'll get to it. Cody Johnson, man, on top of the world, that dude. It is Obi, Chloe Slater, K92.3, just in case you didn't know. Of course he does music. That's why we're playing him. But he's also a rodeo specialist, also has a farm. I mean, the dude's the real deal.
He's the real cowboy. That is for sure.
Okay, so we're talking about Chloe. For all of us in here, we all have a different dynamic. And Chloe here, it's even been interesting seeing you get into grilling. Only thing that's interesting is that you're having dinner at 4 p.m.
What's wrong with that?
What are you, 60?
I love an early bird special.
I know a lot of 6-year-olds that eat at 5:30. That's way past your bedtime, Chloe. So when did you realize first that you were an old soul? And then we'll talk about what conversation started this week.
I think because I just like to be in bed early. I eat really eating early was like huge for me because a lot of my friends don't eat till 7:30, 8 o'clock. And at that point, I'm showered and I'm in bed. Like I'm ready to go to sleep. And I don't know. I've always been like that. I thrive off being up early, going to bed early, reading books, doing things outside. I'm into grilling now. I've always been like that. I'm 27 living in a 67-year-old person's body. And I'm okay with that.
Well, and not that there's anything wrong. Like, I know I made that joke earlier about 60, but hey, it was some of my finest mentors are in their 60s. I just think it's funny, Chloe, because you're also one that if it comes time to, send out a birthday card or anything like that, like you mail these things. You actually go to the post office. How often do you go to the post office?
Oh, I'm probably at the post office once, twice a week, sending out birthday cards, holiday cards, packages.
Me, maybe once a year?
That's me. What? Once a year. And so recently I got really offended, y'all, because I was at the gym and the gentleman asked me for my email address. And so I gave it to him and I said @yahoo.com. And he looked at me and he's like, Yahoo? Really? That's so old school. I'm like, it's old school? And then I start since when am I that old? Like, who else has Yahoo? But he's like, a majority of the emails here, we have Gmail and Outlook. I'm like, sure.
That's like when I get somebody who's got an AOL address.
Or
like,
MSN.
Wow.
Also, it was like a net zero.
What do you all have? No one has Yahoo in here?
No,
I do Gmail.
Oh,
and I saw the Gmail just turned 20 years old as well. So Gmail is going to be the new pretty soon. It will be like Yahoo or AOL or any of those.
Yeah, because what are our kids doing now? They're using iCloud, right?
iCloud, a lot of the iCloud, yeah. Or they even have like other shorter versions of them. You know, though, let me just a little education because I looked this up because I didn't know off the top of my head. You could just get that forwarded to a new, cooler email. And as you are
you going to show me how to do
you're
that?
You're going to, yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look because I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, I'm not good with technology. But you can do this and you should because as you're looking for a guy, this could be in the future what holds you back from meeting Mr. Right.
Because I use Yahoo.
Because you use Yahoo. How many times on Second Date Update do we hear the stupidest reasons why
people don't date?
Yeah.
But I've been pretty insecure about it. You know, when you go to the mall or any stores and they're like, hey, what's your email? And you tell them, I'm like, blah, 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 at yahoo.com.
Tell them you're nostalgic.
Since that, I'm like, do I need to change my email now?
No, tell them you're nostalgic. Tell them you're a classic. Tell them you're an OG.
There you go. I'm made of gold.
Or give them your radio email, because then that sounds cooler.
That does sound a lot cooler.
Oh, my God.
I'm embracing it. I'm loving it. I'll take it. I know you both are a lot older than I am, but I feel older than you.
All right, guys, if you're looking for, for quite the catch, she also loves to stitch.
I do. If we're going on a date, 4:30. Count me in. I'm there. Anything past
Some restaurants aren't even open at that time. Oh, my Lord.
The kiss goodnight, and you'll be like, oh, my gosh. The sun's in my eyes. I can't see what's happening.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
K92.3.
Orlando's #1 for new country.